say to you is, the leader of the Labour Party in Scotland is Jeremy Corbyn. I'm the leader of the Scottish Labour Party. I'm bringing you solidarity greetings from the Scottish Labour Party to this important festival. Comrades, the choice before the people is clear, and it's getting clearer by the day, and so that the appeals that we must now insist on, and the hopes that we now need to lift, must take on and defeat not only Scottish nationalism, but the English nationalism of Boris Johnson as well. Because we are witnessing the abandonment of conservatism and unionism and the rise of a new and dangerous nationalism. So our message must be clearer than ever before, and we must fight harder than ever before, because the real division in society is not the division between Scotland and England. It is not the division between the people of these shared islands and the working people of Europe. The real division is between those people who own the wealth and those people who, through their hard work and endeavour, create the wealth. That's the real division. And that as well is precisely why we need to stop dividing people on the basis of nationality and start uniting them on the basis of class. We will only win this new battle of ideas if we stay rooted in our enduring values of democracy and socialism. And we will only win if we get behind Jeremy Corbyn. And we will only win if we articulate a positive vision of change for the future. And that means it is not enough simply to tell people what we are against. We need to tell people what we are for. So we need to stick to the message of investment over austerity, the message of the public ownership of public services. Because I tell you this, the shareholder dividend, the profit motive, the values of capitalism should never have any place in our National Health Service. And they should have no place in our railways. They should have no place in our mail delivery. They should have no place in our universities. They should have no place in our education system. They should have no place in the delivery of bus services. No place in our prisons. No place in our public water supply. And no place in our asylum system either. Tonight with those asylum seekers in Glasgow who are living in fear of a lock change programme and a forced eviction policy carried out by Serco. Where is the common humanity in that? So tonight, I tell you this, our fight for a Scottish Labour government in 2021 and our fight for a Labour government led by Jeremy Corbyn as soon as a general election is called. These are fights that we must win, not for our own sake, but for all of those people in all of those communities who need Labour in government. And that means as well that at its root, we have to challenge the casino economics, which not only brought about the last financial crisis, but which will bring about the next financial crisis unless we bring about real and radical economic change. Because if socialism means anything at all, it is the extension of democracy into the economic as well as the political system. So it means transforming the relationship between capital and labour, and for the avoidance of doubt, we are, as we always should have been, not a party of capital, we are a party of labour. So in Scotland that means a new movement for land reform, because 50% of our land is still owned by 432 people. So we will tackle the old aristocracy as well as the new aristocracy. It means we need a new wealth tax to tackle the great inequalities, not just in income, but in accumulated wealth. Because it cannot be right either that the richest 1% in Scotland own more personal wealth than the whole of the bottom 50% put together. So it means returning to a policy of redistribution, and it means returning to a policy of public ownership. We want to see public transport back in public municipal ownership so that we can introduce radical green socialist policies like free bus travel, not only for our pensioners, but for all passengers. It means as well a much broader industrial democracy as part of a newer, much broader economic democracy, which involves trade unions and workers, planning the Scottish economy, not simply defending the interests of their members. It means legislating for statutory powers for workers and communities to own enterprises when they are put up for sale or facing closure, because why shouldn't the people who create the wealth own the wealth that they create? So it means as well that we are looking at alternatives to neoliberalism around the world, to those European national and regional states that have fostered cooperative economies like Mondragon in Spain and Emilia-Romagna in Italy. It means a renaissance in powers for elected local democracy as well, to local government and the empowerment of local communities. It means ending the great inequalities of power as well as wealth in our hardest hit communities, where feelings of powerlessness and hopelessness and therefore despair and abandonment are greatest, and so are fueling this new rise in nationalism. It means equal access to power for women as well as men. So let me finish by saying this. My aim as the leader of the Scottish Labour Party is not simply to lead a better management team than the SNP. It is to lead a Scottish Labour government worthy of the name. And it is to go forward together, winning Scotland back to Labour. Because make no mistake, that is the only way to deliver a Labour government led by Jeremy Corbyn. That is the only way. There is no shortcut through the SNP. And make no mistake about this either. The people of Scotland need a Jeremy Corbyn government just as much as every other community represented here tonight. So we must go forward in a spirit of cooperation, with shared endeavour to build a better society in a peaceful world on the strong foundations of a democratic economy, a green economy, and a participatory form of politics that gives us the vision of the future, so that we can offer people a vision of hope. We can offer people a vision of real change. We can offer people a vision worth fighting for. Thank you very much.